guys, and welcome to a quick tutorial video. Today is about how you can improve your FPS in this simulator. This is being recorded on the 23rd of August and probably will be uploaded either today or tomorrow, so 23rd or the 24th of August. And this is before they are going to have a patch, hopefully fixing some bugs, and that has a due date of the 27th of August. But before then, what can you do? Well, first of all, there are a few things that I have noticed doing some flights. I've recorded a flight that you guys will see in about a week and a half, 2 weeks time on, I believe, let me check, you guys will be seeing it on the 1st of September. I did a flight, and it turns out the VFR map definitely does hurt FPS. I turned it on, and I was getting 27. I turned it off, so that, by the way, that doesn't count it being loaded, literally as an option in the menu. Turn it off as an option in the menu. I recommend that. So if you go into the settings, when you load in, you know the little settings tab at the top, you have like the ATC, the camera, the weight and balance, but go into the settings of that and untick VFR map. That took my FPS from 27 up to around 32, 33. There's only 5 frames, but it can make a big difference. Now, number 2, make sure, at least for now, again, this should be patched very soon, but make sure that SimConnect isn't, so basically make sure that stuff isn't using SimConnect, so such as Fly UK Skytrack, Virtual EasyJet Smart Cars, vPilot for VATSIM, FSUI PC7, and all of this stuff uses SimConnect. And at the moment, at least, again, it's a bug, same with the VFR map, that it really needs fixing, that actually docks 15 FPS roughly. I loaded into Jersey in the A320, loaded up FSUI PC7. With it, I was getting about 28 FPS. Without it, I was getting about 43 FPS. So quite a big difference in FPS there. And then again, in terms of graphic settings, so this one isn't so much a bug, it's just, personally, I find this helps on all games. For example, Assetto Corsa Competizione, it wasn't running, I have got that game by the way, it wasn't running so well on this recording PC with the 1060 in it. As soon as I turned down shadows from epic to low, the game went from being 30 FPS to 60. Boom, instant. And it's like that on all games. So what I did, I with this PC, I went onto medium settings, kept it all medium, but then turned down all of these 3 shadow settings, one click. And you know, I haven't totally tested it, but shadows, at least for me, in Euro Truck, in Assetto Corsa, in Project Cars, they always make a massive difference to frames, no matter what. And in my opinion, they don't really give you that much in terms of visual. Now again, another thing you can also do to help your FPS is get the game to not, is basically get the game to keep some of the scenery on your hard drive. This will mean it doesn't have to take it off the internet, and it'll be slightly less laggy when loading in. This is particularly for slow internet connections and things. Unfortunately, this option does appear to be broken at the moment. If I select my C drive, which I know has 99 gig of storage available, and I want it, you know, if say I want it in like a Microsoft, Microsoft folder, it doesn't work. Say I want to put it in my download archive, I know this thing has 93, and if say I put in 10 gigabytes, because you can see that it's in gigs, and you can see there, selected size, it's wrong. It is definitely wrong, and I've tried it for both my D drive and my my G drive and my C drive. I can try it here, look, and you can clearly see select folder, put in 10, same thing. So it doesn't work at the moment, unfortunately, so we're going to go ahead and tick that off, but it is a shame that doesn't work, but when that does get fixed, I highly recommend turning that on. So that's just a few things that you guys can do to improve FPS. Other things include turning down things like land and sea traffic, particularly if you have a bad processor. Knocking these all the way off will not make a massive difference to what you see, particularly things like road vehicles. You might not even see them from high up, but it basically means that the AI doesn't have to process them. It doesn't have to process any of those cars moving about. It's less stuff for your processor to handle, and of course a little bit less for your graphics card to draw as well. So turning this sort of stuff off could always help. So if you guys, also when you save this, it says it's updated running cache, and it'll give you a warning, but it's even turned off. There is something weird going on with that. And again, as well, for some people, turning VSync on can help, and for other people, turning it off can help. It literally depends on your setup with VSync. Sometimes it's helpful, other times it isn't helpful. And if you're stuck, sometimes maybe a frame rate limit might help, although for me, for some reason, this option is greyed out. I think it only works with VSync, but yeah, and things like that can help depending on everything. And of course, in terms of if you're struggling with what settings are right for you, literally knock it back to low, keep turning it up until you find something that is a balance. What you want is a balance between good performance and good looks. Generally, in a flight sim, something between 30 to 40 FPS is what you want to aim for as a minimum. Obviously, anything better than that is a bonus. So, I hope you guys really find this tutorial quite useful when it comes to maybe getting your simulator to run a little bit better than it otherwise would. So, I hope you guys really enjoyed this little tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!